What's up, guys? What's up? What's up? What's up? Thanks for clicking on the channel, man. This is the Uncompromising Truth, where we just go down and we share on things, man, and growth and love, prosperity, peace, joy, happiness, understanding, understanding, so that we can overstand exactly what's going on, right? So I decided to start sharing videos, guys, because I've been looking at a lot and a lot and lots and lots and lots of videos. A lot of these things have helped me along my journey, and I'm really believing that it's going to help you along yours. So this is something that I came across. Top psychologist, excuse me, Donald Hoffman. Seeing true reality would kill us. I can prove it to you. Of course, that's the caption, guys. But as I was reviewing the video, it was getting really interesting. It was really good. As you can see, I'm already an hour into it. So I just decided, well, you know what? I'm gonna just go ahead on and share it with the rest of the video with you guys. I haven't seen the entire thing. I just paused it from this point right here. So let's go ahead on and dive in. Y'all like, share, comment, subscribe, all of those great things, man. So we can get this information out there. Perspective is it's very important to have different ones. We're all God in the flesh. We're all walking around having different perceptions of life, perceiving it that way, and having different experiences. And we're here to help one another, right? All right. So yeah, guys, I'll be popping in and out. I'll try not to interrupt it too much. If I have something to say, then I'll do just that. But for the most part, I'm just gonna let this run, and we're gonna see what this video is about. All right, guys, peace. Let's see.
Kind of asked you this earlier, but I was just looking at some of the research around how many people talk about these near-death experiences, specifically when more so when you have a cardiac issue. People seem to say that they had perceptions of hearing or seeing things, or passing into some kind of tunnel, or seeing some kind of light, or a really positive emotion.
Yes.
I wondered if you were at one point in your life thought that you weren't going to make it, and if with what it's increased your belief in these near-death experience accounts, that someone was sort of transitioning from this reality through taking the headset off. Like, it's almost like they took a little bit of the headset off, but not all of it, and then they came back to the headset.
So, yeah, these very common experiences about near-death, a light in a tunnel, and maybe a life review, and then a choice to come back, and things like that. It's quite common, and I'm not going to dismiss them one bit. I mean, it's hard to get scientific evidence on that. It would be very interesting to have a study in which people did have their heart stop, for example, were resuscitated, and ask how many don't have that experience. Mm-hmm. It would be, if we had a systematic study that did that, so we don't want to be tricked by paying attention to only certain parts of the data, right? So you can see, even though I talk about letting go of concepts and going into the unknown, when it comes to things where we should do science, then I'm very, very hard-nosed about it and say, here we need to do studies. And I know some cardiologists, I'm not going to mention names, but that have seen a lot of this stuff, and they're convinced by their own informal experience that there's something going on here. So I have no beef with that. I think that they might be onto something. So I don't disbelieve it, but that's different than having the science.
Why do we suffer in such a reality? Like, why would this transcendent power create organisms or perspectives that end up suffering, that end up in the worst of places, the concentration camp, the illness, the typhoid, the starvation? Why would such a transcendent power or consciousness do such a thing?
So I'll try not to be shallow about it, but because pain is pain, and death is death, and certain deaths seem horrific. This is a profound question. I always feel like I'm risking being trite and so forth, because this is anybody who's had serious pain knows that you just can't play with this stuff. It's when you're in that pain, it really, and when you're with that fear, it's. But I think ultimately, it may be like the wounds you get in a video game. You get the wounds, your avatar gets killed, and you're upset about it in the moment because you're losing the game and so forth. But then the game's over and you're fine. Ultimately, you're fine. But that experience, I'll put it, I don't want to be in that experience. It's striking that in Christianity, the deepest symbol of God is horrific, a crucifixion. It's absolutely the pain. It's not like a little shot to the head with a gun or something like that. It's making it as painful and as drawn out and as horrific as you could possibly do. And that's when you see the cross, that's sort of, so your question is right at like the heart of Christianity. It's putting that right there, and it's saying this perhaps the most horrific way you could imagine a person dying. That's what happened to Jesus, and that's our symbol for the divine. So that's why it's not trivial. It's not shallow. There's something very, very deep there. None of us is volunteering to hop onto a cross. I'm not volunteering to hop onto a cross. So I would say the challenge of your question is the challenge that is probably a deep spiritual challenge to all of us. And I'll say to me personally, which is to continue to grow up and be less and less identified with this headset and more aware of my transcendent being. Because ultimately, even on the cross, I mean, perhaps the most profound thing I've ever seen in Christianity was Jesus' words on the cross saying, "Father, forgive them, they don't know what they're doing." Right? That the heart of Christianity is right there. It's not like the heart of Christianity is kill the disbelievers. No, the heart of Christianity is the disbelievers have pinned you on a cross. They're killing you in the worst possible way, and you show them love. That's the heart of Christianity. You show love to those who are in the process of killing you in the worst way they can think. That's the heart of Christianity, not killing disbelievers or pushing away disbelievers or discounting them. That's the opposite. So there's something very, very, that's why I'm very, very slow in answering your question, because this gets to the very deep heart of Christianity that I think, and all true spirituality, that I don't think I truly understand. So I see these pointers to it, and I see that it's real, and that your question is pointing to one of the most profound and important things. And I have the feeling that my answer is only ineffectually pointing part of the way there. There's much more to it than I've been able to point to.
I'm hazarding a guess at what the role of I'm hazarding my own guess at what the role of pain and suffering might be in such a reality where consciousness is this transcendent thing that comes into manifests itself as these organisms, and
Yes.
I guess it kind of goes back to your idea of I've only projected what I need to see through my headset in order to survive. So if there are survival dynamics in play in my headset,
I just want to pause for a second, guys. I just think that what they're speaking on is very, very interesting. Y'all let me know in the comment section what y'all think about it. Thought I had been showing at the time while I was doing it. But yeah, y'all let me know what y'all think about it, guys. Put it in the comment section.
is suffering.
Yes,
because
right, sure.
the fire is hot, so I put my hand in the fire, my hand gets burnt. So don't do that again, Steve.
Right.
So if that is the nature of my headset, then there will need to be cause and effect as it relates to things that will help me to survive and things that won't help me to survive.
Yes.
And so suffering might just be an input or a stimulus in this headset that helps me to survive.
Right.
And then, I don't know, the question
Right.
this brings to mind is, why does consciousness care about survival? Why would this transcendent consciousness, maybe that's not even a good question, maybe that's the wrong question, but why does it want to survive in us? Why doesn't consciousness end? I mean,
I agree. One thing that I've heard from one spiritual teacher, Eckhart Tolle, which is interesting on this. One of his talks, he said, let's pretend that we're humans. He goes, oh, that'll be fun. And let's play some dramas. Oh, but to have dramas, I have to forget who I am. Okay, so then I completely forget who I am. And then after a few 100,000 years, when I get tired of it, then let's wake up. I thought that was a profound pointer. That doesn't get the whole thing, but it's an interesting pointer. I think there's more to it than that, but it's more than just playing dramas. I think it's playing dramas to further explore who I am by knowing who I'm not. That may be part of it. Knowing who I am by knowing different perspectives and knowing that as rich as this perspective is, I transcend that.
someone commented on one of your recent videos saying, imagine being a character in a book, trying to understand your way out of that book into a higher dimension.
Yes. That's right. But of course, that's a great question. The only thing I would say is, imagine being the author of the book, having written about a character, because I'm not just a character in the book. I'm the author who's put the character in the book, that then wakes up, that's identified with the character, and then wakes up and realizes, I'm not just the character. I was writing the whole book. So that question is good because it points to a misconception. I'm not just a character in the book. I'm the writer of the book. And Hoffman is just one of the characters in the book.
And the writer.
You hear what he said? I'm not just the character in the book. I'm the author of the book who decided to be the character in the book, to forget, just to remember. You understand? It's for the experience. That's what's going on here in our perceived reality. You're the author, you're the script writer, you're the actor, you're the casting, the director, all of these things. You're in your own movie. Think about it. Just food for thought.
Of the book is
the one consciousness that, when it really understands itself, will love all the characters equally.
How do you know we're not separate consciousnesses?
I don't, and that's an interesting. By the way, I've got a mathematical model of consciousness, and that's a whole other topic. So you can either play the game here. We're understanding how is physical world and consciousness related. How are those two things related? Mm-hmm. Most of my colleagues say physical world is fundamental. Consciousness emerges when right brain activity happens. So
when neurons
fire in the right way and so forth, for example. Now, as a scientist, I always, at these conferences, they know what I'm going to do to them. I say, still, you claim that conscious experiences come from integrated information. Give me one. Give me an experience. And they can't.
Can they not say, well, look, I'm looking around right now and that's coming from neurons in my brain in a physical substrate?
Yeah, they'll say that, but they know what I'm asking. What I'm asking for is, I say, give me the specific pattern of neural activity that must be the taste of mint.
Okay, right. So
it must be the taste of mint.
They can't spot the sequence of neurons or physical interactions that cause me to taste mint.
That's right.
So there's a big gap there.
And then they have to explain why that particular pattern. So first they have to identify the pattern. This pattern, with this, say, integrated information pattern, must be the taste of mint.
By integration information pattern, you mean like this combination of things coming together causes mint?
That's right.
They can't tell me the combination, and they can't tell me why that combination
causes mint.
So it's basically cause and effect. They're saying something happened here, and then they're seeing an outcome, which is an experience, but the gap in between they can't explain.
That's right. And sometimes they'll say that the conscious experience just is the dynamic, whatever the physical dynamics is.
Okay.
But even then, the question is, why is this particular dynamics associated with this conscious experience?
Okay.
And
Ooh, man, they going in, dog. They are definitely going in. Well, look, guys, I don't want to give you the whole thing. If you're interested in seeing it, go back in the video. I spoke on exactly who it was. You can go check out the guy's channel in which I got it from. I just thought that I'd pop in and share it with you guys, man. It was real interesting. And I was gathering a lot of great intel from it. And it was triggering some things in my consciousness. And I wanted you guys to be able to experience that as well. Let me know what it did for you. Let me know if you was interested in it or not, if it did something for you or not, which I already know the answer to that is always designed to do something. Even when you believe it's nothing, it's something, right? All right, guys. Well, until next time, man, peace, love, joy, blessings, abundance. Y'all keep on expanding, keep on growing, keep on searching for the knowledge, keep on allowing it to come in and just wash over your life, man, and just be great in everything that you guys do. All right, till next time, y'all. Peace.